just speaking from the perspective of a white guy. I mean, I can't put it any other way. So, from your perspective as a white guy, why is it important to kind of change these imageries and kind of, get rid of this sort of stuff?
Idolizing white supremacists, slave owners, and traitors is not how a nation that is supposed to include everybody, all of its members, is supposed to conduct itself. The naming of a school is an honor that's only supposed to be bestowed upon the greatest of our citizens, not the worst of our citizens, not the worst of our history. And the fact that we have in the past allowed this to happen and continue to allow this to happen showcases the worst pieces of what our society has. I mean, it's that simple to me. Like, by the simple fact that people like Pastor Crozier, and you, Hollis, and all of the parents that have signed this petition, and the teachers, the faculty senate, and the LSIC, and 3,800 signatures on the change.org petition, and the fact that it is taking all of this work shows us how hard it is to fight against this base and structural built-in white supremacy that has existed in this country. The fact that when you argue against white supremacy, people feel like you are arguing against history shows us a lot. And I know that a lot of people don't feel like changing a name of a school is that big of a deal. They're like, why are you not concentrating on test results first and this and that first? If we don't tear down the idols that showcase the white supremacy that the United States was built upon, how can we ever hope to work on the structural, racism and the structural issues that affect all of our kids? Just like Pastor Crozier said, if white kids look at stuff like this and they say, hey, it's cool to be a fan of Stonewall Jackson. Like, what does that do to them as adults? If they've grown up and they've looked at this and they felt that way, if they felt that it was fine to go to a school that was 50% African American or 50% minority, and it have a giant mural of a Confederate general looking over the kids as they practice sports out back on that field, as those kids, 50% or more of those kids, boys and girls, are dressed up in the colors of Confederate soldiers. What does that do to the white kids? What does that do to the black kids? How does that set their mindset going forward forever? You have to actively fight as an adult to get people to change their mindset when it's set by simple things like this. This is simple. This is a simple act. Changing this name, changing the school colors, changing what this school stands for and represents, that will affect the way that people view themselves and view others going forward for the rest of their lives. Tens of thousands of adults will go to this school after we get this name changed. They won't have to actively be instructed, corrected, changed, worked with to see what the problem is. Tens of thousands of people.
Boy, you just had a mountaintop speech moment right there. You chill right there, man. You know what I'm saying? We might have to record that and just pick that out to the atmosphere. I know you're a professional speaker, and I know you felt a little something right there, man. Lord.
And I've been talking about this for a really long time. Like a really long time. This is something that I'm really glad that people are getting on board with. I'm really happy about it. Like, I want to see this changed.
I appreciate that, man. That was really good right there, Chris. Okay, so I don't even want to. We can end it, but I got a couple more questions. Things we got to ask. So I want to switch gears to Pastor, and again.